and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a book tag for you. I know it's been a long while since I posted anything. I actually had a few family members in my house who got COVID, and I don't want to explain any more than that, but my room was taken up and that's about it. So before any further ado, let's start this fun book tag and yeah, let's begin. So this is the Midyear Freakout book tag, and the first question I have for you, I have for myself to answer is best book that I've read this year so far. And this is Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is a comedian on the television, and he wrote a memoir, basically an autobiography, and it's full of funny, relatable stories that he tells about his childhood as a black man or a man of mixed race, and I really loved it. It was so poignant and it was just so engaging, and I just loved it. I would just keep laughing all the time, and that's why it's one of my favorites so far till now. So the second question is best sequel I've read so far this year. So I've read two sequels, and I don't think either of them are the best sequels in my grand opinion. Because as good as Kingdom of Ash was, I don't think it was the best sequel I've read so far. It did make me cry, but I reread it so many times that I kind of lost my enjoyment through it all, even though I cried a lot in a lot of scenes, but it's not the best sequel. And even with Supernova, I don't think it was the best sequel again. I think it was a good book, it was entertaining, but the ending wasn't quite satisfactory to my satisfaction, if you know what I mean. And so basically I didn't read any best sequels so far. So the third question is new release I haven't read yet, but I want to. Now, I would really like to buy Concrete Rose and read it, and my friend is going to gift it to me on my birthday, so I am excited. I just have 2 more days to go until my 26th birthday, and I will get that. So I'm really excited for that. So funny story time, guys. I was supposed to buy this book in the very beginning of the year, and I ended up buying Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. I'm not liking Sarah J. Maas' stories anymore. I don't know why I did this. It was so stupid. I felt like the biggest idiot in this world. So anyway, I'm still getting a second chance to read this book, and I'm really excited. It follows Maverick Carter, which is Star's dad in The Hate U Give, and I'm really excited to get through it. And there are a few more stories that I'm really excited to read, which is Chain of Iron, which is basically the sequel of Chain of Gold in the Last Arts series by Cassandra Clare. It follows the children of the Infernal Devices characters, and I fell in love with this world a long time ago. But more than that, she makes really good characters, guys, and I just love that about her writing. They're so relatable, they're so sweet, they're so just full of magic, and they're my children. I also really want to read The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. When I read the synopsis, I was really taken by it, because there's this girl who runs a wrong blood color, and so she thinks that her life has ended right there. But then these people from the empire, the kingdom, come and ask her to work for them as soldiers, and that really inspired me. It gave me very Shadow of Bone kind of a feeling, because in Shadow of Bone, our character Alina is also a soldier of sorts, so this kind of really had me going for it. So I'd really like to read this one fantasy also this year. So the fourth question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Now, I don't know when Wicked Powers by Cassandra Clare is coming out, but I'd really like to read that book. It follows Ty and Kid from the Dark Artifices, and I am super bummed. No, not bummed. Pumped. I'm super pumped to read this. I don't know if it's coming out in the rest of the second year, but I'm impatiently waiting for it. Okay, so the fifth question is most disappointing book I've read so far this year. It's gonna be Children of Vengeance and Virtue by Tomi Adeyemi. See, I'm not big on child loses mother and then she loses herself in the revenge kind of a trope. It's too old for me now, and I'm not interested anymore. And her characters are just really annoying in my opinion. I think that they're just so full of themselves and they have these very twisted definitions of justice, and I didn't enjoy it so much. So, but Children of Vengeance was just not my thing, and I'm not sure I want to continue reading that series. So that's there. Can't happen. If you don't like something, then you don't like something. I also DNF'd Crescent City. I've been trying to read that so many times and I just cannot. I think I'm just done with this whole trope of having toxic men who are protective of you but who also give you this kind of freedom. Who are you to give me that kind of freedom, first of all? Who? So I'm just really done with those kind of characters, and I don't think I'm into Sarah J. Maas's writing anymore other than Kingdom of Ash. Even that book I DNF'd it so many times, but I wanted to finish it because it's the last book in the series and I just wanted to have a closure with that series of sorts. So that's why I finished that series. But that doesn't mean that I loved it. I think it was just fine. And yeah, that's my relationship with Sarah J. Maas. So the sixth question is my biggest surprise. So, Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami is a book I'm reading right now, and despite its few flaws of sexism, I am actually really enjoying this book and I'm surprised about it, and it has this really lyrical, dreamlike quality to it. So that is one of the reasons that I'm really enjoying it. It has a cinematic, literary experience to it. The descriptions and the transition from one scene to another is turning out to be really good, and hopefully I will come up with a book review for this. So the seventh question is your new favorite author. Guys, you want to make a guess? I'll wait. Yeah, it's that obvious, isn't it? It's Cassandra Clare. I've been reading her books for quite a while now, and I am in love with her writing, especially since Infernal Devices. But this new series and me waiting for Wicked Powers is just one of those things that I really love doing. So her books are my favorite, her characters are my favorite, her world is my favorite. End of story. Another one of my new favorite authors are also Trevor Noah. I know that's just a memoir that he wrote, but I think if he writes more non-fiction or even on Black history, I'd really love to read it. It was a very educating read, to be honest, and I loved it. He's a comedian and he has a really good way around with words. What more can I say? So, don't get mad at me, but the eighth question is newest fictional crush. You want to make a guess? I won't wait this time. It's Matthew Fairchild from the Last Hour series by Cassandra Clare. He is really intense, he's brooding but not like James, and he can be funny when he wants to be, and he's really helpful and he's quite kind, but can be a slight bit of an asshole, but just everybody is an asshole sometimes, you know, just sometimes. So I really like this character, not because he's blonde, but because he's super intense, and I like super intense characters. There you go. Ninth question is newest favorite character. This is going to be Cordelia Carstairs from the same series in Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare in the Last Hour series. She's super mature, she's intelligent, she's kind, and she knows exactly how to save a situation. And she is just one of the most relatable persons of color too that I came through in the story, and I really like her as a character. I think she has a really good development and personality and a very good family background too, and that makes her relatable to me as an Indian, even though she's not, she's Parsi, but I love her and I would give my life for her if I knew her in real life. 10th question, a book that made you cry. Kingdom of Ash. Yeah, I cried a lot. There were so many scenes which were emotional, romantic, sad, and a lot of near-death experiences, and there were 100 pages of war in it. Who writes 100 pages of war? Maybe Branderson, even though I've never read his works, but I have a feeling that he does. And it was a lot. I just kept waiting for some important characters to die, and when they did, I was heartbroken. Like, I think I had a cold by the end of reading of that book. I was ruined. But I'm happy I finished it. No more to say on this matter. So, 11th question is a book that made me happy. Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. Although it's set in a very dark time of apartheid and there was a lot of racism going on, Trevor Noah managed to make it all sound quite funny and very lyrical and very engaging. And throughout the entire book, I was just laughing at the things that he did in his childhood. And they were just really funny, they were happy-go-lucky. The 12th question is the most beautiful books I bought this year. If you mean by color, I'm going to say Murder at the Mushaira by Reza Mir and Chain of Iron and Cool Prince. I mean, look at these covers. They are beautiful. They have great illustrations and they really make you want to open the book and read and get immersed in the world. I have no more to say on that matter. You can look at it yourself, you know. So the 13th question is, what books do I need to read by the end of this year? Well, I'm a mood reader, so I don't have a big list of particular reads. But some of the books that I really like to get to this year is Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas, and I'd like to read The Brothers Karamazov and finish it. And I would also like to read God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. These are 3 books that I really want to get to this year, and I think I will buy them. I'm excited to read them. I think they're going to be very important and effective books this year. So that was the end of this really fun book tag. I really enjoyed answering all the 13 questions that were there for me. And if you'd like me to do more book tags, more fun book tags like these, please let me know. And thank you very much for joining me. If you have any preferences like this or recommendations for what to read, or if you just want to do this tag, please, I tag you. Go ahead and do it, and maybe even comment down below what you enjoyed from the list that I gave, and what you didn't enjoy. I'd love to discuss with you. So thank you very much. Bye bye.